What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with another news video. And let's get straight into it with the headlines. WWE has confirmed NXT's move to the USA Network. Schiavone signs with AEW. The Undertaker to appear on SmackDown Live. 2 WWE superstars confirmed their departure. And why Braun Strowman and Seth Rollins won the Raw Tag Team titles. Let's get straight into the first news with WWE confirming NXT's move to the USA Network. The WWE will begin airing NXT on the USA Network, an unofficial announcement first made by Chris Jericho on Busted Open Radio by Dave Meltzer as well. Meltzer revealed, NXT will be airing on 8 to 10 PM Eastern Time on USA on Wednesdays, head-to-head with AEW on TNT. WWE stock has increased $2.57 per share today to $72.18 based on the expectation of the announcement tonight. There's been talk for the last year that the WWE was considering moving NXT from the WWE Network to a cable outlet, and this move only furthers the WWE's bid to frustrate the debut of AEW's television show on TNT. With NXT expanding to 2 hours, some are worried about what this means for the NXT product, and Wrestlelamia will have a video analysing this move in full detail. Despite the talk of NXT moving to USA and rumours that the WWE would announce the move during Raw, no such announcement was made, according to Brad Shepard of Pro Sports Extra. According to a source in WWE, in the last rewrite of Raw, the big announcement of NXT to the USA Network was taken out of the show. I'm told they're unhappy the announcement was leaked. It should be interesting to see if it's added back. Now, it wasn't confirmed last night, but WWE have just moments ago announced the news on their Twitter page, tweeting, WWE and USA Network today announced an agreement in principle to air WWE's weekly Wednesday night show NXT live on USA Network at 8/7 Central starting September 18th. During the press release, Vince McMahon mentioned, the move to USA Network provides an opportunity to deepen our relationship with NBC Universal and further build the NXT brand. Over the long term, our goal is to develop a following that can be monetized to the same level as our flagship programs Raw and SmackDown. Now, trying to get it on the same level of its flagship shows unfortunately means that WWE might try the same copy and paste method it uses with Raw and SmackDown Live. The same set, same possible arena, same camera angles, same production quality. Now, that might not be a bad thing, as it's the wrestling what sets it apart from other shows, but Vince's involvement in the show scares us to think that he might even dumb that down. It's obvious that they are trying to compete with AEW and take away as much as they can from their show, which debuts in October. However, Nick Jackson, one half of the Young Bucks, tweeted, "We ain't scared," to a post confirming NXT's move to the USA Network. Should they be? Chris Jericho doesn't seem to be, and commented on why expanding the show to 2 hours isn't a good move, as speaking on Busted Open Radio he mentioned, "I think WWE is great, but there's too much WWE as it is. By adding another 2 hours, that really dilutes the product, it dilutes their mindset, it dilutes the focus. It's a reactionary move that's done by a guy who wants to start a war. We don't care if you want to start a war, that was never our intention. There's no war for us, we're just doing what we're doing. People there don't like that, and they're reacting to it, and it just dilutes their own product. You remember in the 90s, Nitro would start at 7:57 and Raw started at 8 PM, and the reason that we started early is because we wanted our pyro to be before theirs. Who gives a crap? What's the show like? Don't worry about what the other guys are doing, worry about your own stuff." Do you agree with Jericho? Let us know in the comments down below. But our next story looks at AEW and Schiavone signing with the company. Schiavone is apparently all in on the wrestling industry, having just signed with All Elite Wrestling. Schiavone, the longtime announcer for Jim Crockett Promotions and WCW, stepped away from the industry following the demise of WCW. He stayed busy as an announcer for minor league baseball, but slowly returned to the wrestling business, beginning with his What Happened When podcast with Conrad Thompson in 2017, followed by his return to calling the action for MLW. Word has it, the WWE was interested in hiring Schiavone, but he opted to go with AEW. AEW also announced they will air a 1-hour special on TNT on 30th August 2019, one day before their All-In pay-per-view. Next up, The Undertaker to appear on SmackDown Live. The WWE announced the Phenom will appear on the 10th September 2019 edition of SmackDown Live, just days before the Clash of Champions pay-per-view. As Fightful.com noted, WWE has not held a television event inside the world's most famous arena since 2011, when the venue hosted Survivor Series. WWE did air a live special on the network from MSG in 2015, and the last Raw or SmackDown held at MSG was in 2009. Is the WWE setting up things for the dead man to work at Clash of Champions, or is this just a way to boost ticket sales for the MSG show as well as SmackDown's ratings? What's next for the dead man anyway? Next up, 2 WWE superstars confirmed their departure. There are a number of superstars backstage, no doubt frustrated by their lack of push or television time, and some have even hinted at leaving the company, the likes of Rusev almost on a weekly basis, but this time we're not talking about the Bulgarian Brute, but former United States champion Kalisto and Lucha House Party partner Gran Metalik. Kalisto tweeted yesterday, 10 months, #free agent, and Metalik followed with Me Too Carnell. Seems unlikely they'll re-sign, as their biggest moment of 2019 was feuding with Lars Sullivan and being involved in the 24/7 escapades. They could be looking to sign with AEW, but it's more likely that they'll head over back to Mexico, possibly working for AAA. Whether you care they're leaving is up to you, but one thing's for sure is that Braun Strowman doesn't, as Braun replied #adios, but quickly deleted the tweet. And our last story looks at why Braun Strowman and Seth Rollins won the Raw Tag Team titles. Now there's new Raw Tag Team champions, as Seth Rollins and Braun Strowman defeated Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows to win the gold. But let's look at why. Last night's Raw saw Universal Champion Seth Rollins team up with Braun Strowman for an impromptu title shot at the OC for their Raw Tag Team Championship, defeating the OC and in convincing fashion. The question is, why did the WWE take the belts off the OC, who had been enjoying a solid push, and put them on the Universal Champion and the man who appears to be his next challenger? Was this hotshot booking, or step 1 in a well-crafted storyline? Let's look at some reasons. Number 1, building up Rollins vs Strowman. With Braun Strowman doing everything but drooling when he looks at the Universal Championship, it's obvious the monster among men will be vying for the title. Even Rollins knows Strowman is after the belt, and even told Strowman he's going to give him a title shot. However, why put the tag titles around their waist? The idea of rivals holding tag team titles is a time-tested tool for promoters, and fans likely recall when rivals Shawn Michaels and Stone Cold Steve Austin held the WWF Tag Team Championship in 1997. The WWE has repeated this trope several times since, with the latest being Rollins and Strowman, the idea being whether they can focus on defending the titles when Strowman is looking to capture Rollins' Universal Championship. This unlikely pairing also raises the question whether Strowman will use his team as a way to gain an advantage over Rollins for their eventual title match. Will Strowman betray Rollins during a tag match, possibly laying the Beast Slayer out during the bout and even injuring him? A Strowman heel turn shouldn't be ruled out, and it's even possible the big man will join the OC, adding some much needed muscle to the group. Fans are already discussing this, and it adds to the intrigue behind the storyline. While it seems unlikely, especially with Rollins' recent promo where he thanked the fans for helping him defeat Brock Lesnar, you just can't rule out Rollins joining the OC either, particularly with Paul Heyman so heavily involved on Raw now. It's probably not going to happen, but it gives the fans something to think about, and more importantly to tune in to see what transpires. The new tag team also presents the scenario of Rollins and Strowman having a miscommunication in the ring that leads to Rollins or Strowman accidentally striking the other, leading to either number 1, the question whether it really was an accident, or number 2, a breakdown in the ring that sees one wrestler attacking the other. It's yet another tool for building up Rollins vs Strowman, and another good reason for putting the titles on them. Number 2, are Anderson and Gallows on the way down? Fans of the original club are naturally concerned that Anderson and Gallows' title loss means their push might be fading. However, the OC have been on fire for several weeks, and even the most overheels need to suffer setbacks, or fans get tired of seeing the babyfaces get beat down every week or come up short in the win column. While there are few guarantees in life, it wouldn't surprise us if the OC get the tag team belts back soon. Expect to see one of the scenarios we discussed early play out, leading to the OC taking advantage of a communication breakdown between Rollins and Strowman, or a Strowman heel turn to regain the Raw belts. And number 3, the apparent answer. Ultimately, Rollins and Reigns' win serves two purposes. Number 1, it advances the Strowman vs Rollins Universal Championship storyline, adding more layers to it, and number 2, it further adds to the anything can happen in the WWE quality that Raw is looking to boost. While various news sites are commenting that the title reign will be short-lived and likely lead to Strowman turning on Rollins, the bottom line is that it's an effective strategy if it serves purposes 1 and 2. With Clash of Champions arriving on 15th September, the WWE needs to build up Rollins vs Strowman, and the tag team title scene appears to be a novel way of doing so. But there you have it guys, some news for today and the reason behind Rollins and Strowman's tag team title win. Where do you think that they're going with this storyline? Do you think the OC's push is over? Be sure to leave your comments down below, subscribe if you haven't already, follow us on Instagram and Twitter, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.